Down in the assembly area for our traditional IWC Schaffhausen moment with 13-time Grand Prix winner David Coulthard in a wonderful Mercedes 300 SL. Good to see you, DC.
It is, and in keeping with the IWC moment, I don't have time for this interview. I think I'm about to head out on track.
Very nicely done.
Yeah.
This is a beautiful bit of kit.
It is fantastic. This is my dream car, and we've had this conversation privately. I had an opportunity to buy one of these in '95, but I was being too Scottish and mean, and I missed that particular window. But I've got a Pagoda, 1971, same age as me, so 46 years old, and I've told my 8-year-old recently that will be his car when he's older, and he looked at me like, why do I want an old car, Daddy? You know, he wants something modern and exotic, but he'll get it one day.
Dayton will understand one day, won't he?
He will.
You spent 9 seasons in Formula 1 with Mercedes-Benz. They do this properly, don't they?
Yeah, this is the iconic brand, and you just need to look at the engineering and how well these cars still run today, and it tells you everything about the marque.
First time back at Goodwood since your Austin A30 experience.
Yeah.
Just how was that?
It was hilarious and frightening, all wrapped into one. So clearly a bit more work is required in my driving technique for a car like that, but it was a lot of fun, driving well at the back. I had a couple of grassy moments as well, but yeah, it's racing, just not as I know it.
Have you caught the historic racing bug now?
I have tremendous respect. I love the cars, the period, and the bravery of those who want to go out and race them. But frankly, knowing my limitations, I'm not getting better with age. So I think I'm more designed to quaff champagne, do the odd demonstration, and spend time with you.
Some of the guys who go out in these very quick cars, they're much older than you.
Yeah, I know, but they're also much braver, and I guarantee you much faster as well.
There's a little bit more engineering in this, isn't there, than an Austin A30.
Yeah.
What's the plan today? I'm guessing take it nice and easy, wave at the crowd.
Yeah, absolutely. Distinct lack of seatbelts, but yeah, enjoy. Goodwood's a track that I come to often during the course of the year for different events, so enjoy to drive the track. It's still incredibly challenging, but this is just about demonstrating the beauty of this car.
Quick word about the day job with Channel 4, F1 2017, looking like it'll be quite spectacular.
Yeah, well, as you know, we've been following the sport for some time, and there's been periods when it hasn't been the most exciting of racing, and there hasn't really been anticipation of the year ahead, but that's changed, I believe, going into this year. Wider cars, more mechanical grip, significantly quicker. Drivers are going to be physically pushed much harder. Melbourne, maybe not the hardest of tracks from a physical point of view, but the time we get to sort of places Malaysia where they've really got high G-force corners in the heat, I think some of the younger drivers will find out what Formula 1's really about.
Are you still enjoying being poacher instead of gamekeeper?
Yeah, I love the sport, but I remember very well sitting on the sofa watching it and listening to Murray Walker and James Hunt as a boy with my father, and many of my pleasant childhood memories are around watching Grand Prix racing, and then I had the privilege to race a car for 15 years. So to be talking on television, I'm embarrassed that I'm not able to do it as well as that combination, but Ben Edwards, fantastic commentator, he could do the whole thing on his own. It just gives me one of the best seats in the house again. So I had it from behind the cockpit, now I get it from behind the microphone.
Do you think it's going to be all about Mercedes again?
They've got to start as the benchmark, but Ferrari, they're not normally show voting. They've certainly looked good in winter testing. They have to get their act together because they've been somewhat disappointing the last few years. So as everything, naturally the engines are opening up in development. I think Ferrari have made big headway there. Let's see whether the car's as good as they've been showing in winter testing.
Okay. Have fun out there, won't you?
Thank you very much.
Good to see you, DC. Thanks.
Thank you. You jumping in?
David!
Yes.
David!
How are you?
Everything okay?
That's the gentleman I met last night who goes everywhere with 2 ladies.
Now 3. Now 3.
Trombones was the word of the morning for Henry Hope-Frost. I think Wally's maybe newer. Gherkins. Just latching the gull wings down. So much similarity under the skid to the Grand Prix cars, Kevin. The Mercedes Grand Prix cars.
Lead the goalpost up there with the K54.
That's utterly timeless, isn't it? If you said that was a car that was on the market now. Mercedes-Benz marketed something like that again now. People would rush out and buy them and keep in their pockets.
But it's when you get up close to these cars, you have a look in, and everything is purposeful. There's art in the body shape outside, but it's largely to be aerodynamic. There's bits of fluting over the wheel arches and stuff, but inside everything is just so spot on, and the level of preparation is
And the workmanship,
astonishing.
the workmanship and the engineering of a car made more than 60 years ago is simply sensational.
They sound pretty good too. So David's gone through Fort Water. It's a very slight rise as you approach St Mary's, but as he said, he's going around rather gingerly. Getting the feel. But do listen out for this car. It does sound great. I hope he gives it a little bit of rev every now and again. It's coming past my commentary box. In fact, I could hear the tyre roar more than the engine noise, pretty much, until he put it down a little bit and the drop out of St Mary's up towards Lavender, but it does look beautiful. David obviously will be getting on board a flight fairly shortly to Australia to kick off the 2017 World Championship. As he said to Henry Hope Frost, a lot of things are changing for this year, and I always like the period of change. As long as one team or one manufacturer doesn't get a massive advantage, it's great to have a sort of a shake-up of the order. It keeps us on our toes.
I think we're going to see a lot of lap records fall as well.
Well, they've been so far off for so many years, haven't they? A lot of the records stand from the days when Michael Schumacher was in his pomp.
You press the reset button, there'll probably be an element of unreliability in this first year of the new regs, and that will open the races up, hopefully. So we go back to the 70s, the Cosworth sort of kit car days, when if you're on the grid on a Sunday and still running at the end, you'd probably be in the points.
Other than, of course, Mercedes, we've just been talking about their engineering abilities. I suspect they won't be breaking down too often, but certainly Honda had a few issues.
That is glorious.
I had the great pleasure of talking to John Fitch about his race of my life, and he picked driving the 300 SL on the Million 55. And he, of course, originally was going to have the pace note idea with Dennis Jenkinson, which then ended up being with Sterling. But he beat Olivier Gondomar to the GT category win, which he regarded as being his best drive.
Fair effort.
Absolutely.
Remember David Coulthard did a series of track tests for Autosport magazine. One was the Lotus 72 at Mallory Park, which was very impressive. Then he came and drove a Maserati 250F here at Goodwood, which was another eye-opener for him.
Well, it certainly was with the pedal arrangement. He was scared enough about driving the Maserati to start with, and it worked out the pedals were in a different order, and I think that rather threw him at the time.
I think I was reading one report from the period where they turned up at one event with the different pedal arrangements in 2 or 3 of their different cars. I think even Sterling Moss found that a little trying.
Yeah, some had centre throttles, didn't they? Just something conventional. A glorious IWC Schaffhausen moment. Little fly screen on the bonnet of the Merc.
Dare I say, you're about to start getting a bit of sun glinting off its wings. It's getting brighter, certainly on my side of the track. A little more flare back off the car, so that's good news for the track getting drier through the course of this afternoon.
Well, you've done it now, Bruce. That's it. Rain shower in half an hour.
I'm not planning to go out for a bit. I'm locked in this box until 6:30.
That's the two-lap demo for the Mercedes-Benz 300 Gullwing.